Hey everybody, how's it going? In today's video we're going to be talking about and going over the evolution of the M1 steel helmet. But first and foremost, all these helmets here, these are not all mine. My brother actually lent me some of them so we can make this video possible. So shout out to him for that. Yeah. Uh, Now, I classify these helmets by when they were used, not by when they were made. Basically, so we can go over all the changes that were made with each era. So we have up top World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and post-Vietnam. So, yeah. Another thing, I don't have examples for every type of helmet and every option, not option, but every feature of these helmets. So I'm either going to try to describe them as best as I can, or else provide photographs to help make the visual, I don't know, to provide a visual representation for some of these things I'm going to be rambling about here in just a few seconds. So yeah, now to start, we're going to start up at World War II here. Um, back before 1941, the United States military was using M1917 helmets, which is a lot like what we see in World War One. In fact, the M1917A1 was an updated version of the World War One helmets. Um, but these M1917 helmets didn't provide much protection to the back or sides of the head, only from the top, really. So what they did is they thought up of a new design that provided optimal protection of all around the wearer's head. So, it was the M1 helmet. The M1 helmet was born. Uh, Now these first style, the M1 helmet was a two-piece design. That came with the shell, this metal part, and a liner which contained the suspension. See that? This is the liner. So, yeah, that kind of made this, I don't know what you would say, it's a pretty, I don't know, revolutionary design in a way. I mean, because if the liner was crap, you could just take it out and replace it with a new one. Same goes with the shell. So, yeah, this is probably the most iconic helmet that you ever, I mean, at least with Americans, this is a really, 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 really iconic helmet. But moving on from that, uh, these the first style helmet shells, they featured front seam swivel bales, front seams and swivel bales. Sorry. Now, when we talk about front seam, that refers to this. This is the seam. The seam of the rim band, of course. It's where the ends of this rim band meet. The reason they put this rim band on was so the wearer would be, or anybody that's handling these helmets would be protected from the rough edge of the main part of the helmet. It just saved a lot of people from, getting cuts and stuff. So now this is the seam. So, and they featured fixed bales. Now fixed bale, this is a bale. It what it does is the chin straps are connected to it. Now this is a swivel bale. As you can see, it swivels. A fixed bale is in a fixed position. The fixed bale is welded directly to the helmet. It's just this wire part. The fixed bale is just this wire part, and it's welded directly to the helmet. So moving on to liners. Yeah, that's the shell. Now moving on to liners. The first liners were a low pressure, made of low pressure cardboard, which means it was pressed cardboard. And it featured a fiber covering. It was made like an HBT material, herringbone twill. If you don't know what that is. Like I said, it was just a fiber covering, and these liners featured gray suspension. This is suspension. This is not one of these liners that I'm talking about. This is just a later liner, but they featured like a gray material. It kind of resembles nylon if you look at it. But it was gray material suspension, and the headband was unadjustable. This is the headband. It's adjustable. It has a slider. These early ones were not adjustable. Yeah. These first liners were made by the Hawley Company, Hawley. It was just made by them. But and if you hear people talking about Hawley liners, that's what they mean. It's a liner, one of these low pressure liners that was created by the Hawley Company. Now, in spring 1942, these Hawley liners were made with an improved suspension and olive drab number 3 material, and featured an adjustable headband. Now, this is the exact suspension that I just described. This is the improved suspension, and with the adjustable headband, of course. This is the nape strap. It provides some cushion for the back of your head. So yeah, but again, this is not one of these Hawley liners. I'm going to be getting to that next here. So also in spring of 1942, around the same time that this improved suspension was introduced, they started making high pressure liners made of plastic. They featured the improved suspension. Now this right here is a high pressure plastic liner. It's, like I said, plastic. It's hard is what it is. I mean, you can tell it's not cardboard. It's a lot sturdier. And then of course we have our improved suspension. Now the reason they made the change was because, well, in spring of 1942, World War II was in full swing, even with the Americans, and they realized that these cardboard helmet liners did not fare too well in humid conditions, aka the Pacific Theater, and they just fell apart and were completely useless. So they realized that didn't work, so they introduced these high-pressure plastic liners, which lasted way better. They were a huge step up from the old Hawley liners. Now you can usually tell that what Hawley liners are, because Hawley liners are really thick. Like, they're usually thicker than the shell itself, so you can usually see below the helmet, the liner, you can usually see. So yeah. Now, in October 1943, a few months later, actually over a year later, they changed the fixed bale design to a swivel bale design. So you remember what I said about fixed bales and how they were welded around in the helmet? They switched right over to this. This is a swivel bale. It's attached to a hinge piece down in there, and the hinge piece is welded to the helmet itself. It was a better design. It held up better, and it could move for more adjustment. The bale could, whatever that is. So yeah. Now in July 1944, they introduced a new chin strap design. It was called the T1 Quick Release Buckle. They were lightly used during World War II, but I'm pretty sure there is evidence of them being used. Very little evidence, though. So, before they switched over to this new chin strap, these were the chin straps they were using. You see it's a wire hook, and it's attached to this flat piece of metal with a little arrow in there so it stays in. That's the old design. Now, this is the new design. If I can get it right. This is the new design. So what this basically did, well, during a big fear at the time was getting into hand-to-hand combat, and then the enemy would come up behind you, grab your helmet with the chin strap on you, of course, pull it back, which would make you vulnerable for getting your throat slit, basically. Now, that's with the old design. With this new design, when you're wearing your chin strap, if somebody would come up behind you, grab your helmet, pull it back, that would cause tension on this chin strap and the buckle, and it would basically just let loose. So there, the enemy would be confused, hey, his helmet came off, which gives you time to act and defend yourself. Now, in November 1944, they changed the color of the chin straps from olive drab number 3 to a darker olive drab number 7. This right here is olive drab number 3. In World War II, when you're dealing with any type of webbing, there is no such thing as khaki. There's olive drab number 3 and olive drab number 7. This is olive drab number 3. They changed from this color to this color. This is olive drab number 7. Now, in the same month of the same year, they moved the seam, like I mentioned earlier, the front seam, they switched it, and they basically just turned the whole seam around, the whole rim around, so that the seam was on the back of the helmet. And while doing that, they also changed, this is stainless steel and it shimmers, and they didn't like that, so they also changed it over to manganese steel, which is the same color, the same material as the rest of the helmet, so the paint stuck better. Now, production on World War II helmet shells ceased in August 1945. So yeah, that was the end of that, for then at least. Now, representing World War II helmets, the World War II era, I have this helmet. This is a Schluter manufactured helmet. It's a, whoa, let me get focused here. Sorry about that. This is a front seam fixed bail helmet. That was it was replaced with swivel bails, as you could see earlier. Olive drab 7 chin straps and the T1 quick release chin straps at some point. So the chin straps probably broke off at one point. You can actually kind of see the welds from the fixed bails. It's hard to see with the liner in though. And they probably replaced it with all new stuff at some point. Now over here we have a McCord manufactured front seam swivel bail helmet. It dates to December 1943, and it was replaced with olive drab 7 chin straps at some point. The only reason I say it was replaced with olive drab number 7 chin straps is because, well, they switched over to OD7 chin straps in November 1944. Well, this is a December 43 helmet, so this probably most likely would have had khaki chin straps. So that's World War II. That's probably the most information in this whole video for different eras at least. Now moving on to Korea. The Korean War was in full swing. Not really in full swing, but it was pretty much there. They realized that there was a need to get these guys equipped. So production fired back up in 1951. For the most part, they just use updated World War II shells. However, they did produce a handful of new shells. So, yeah. Now, also in 1951, they changed the paint color of these helmets to a lighter olive drab 319. And the texture of these helmets, they changed from a cork texture to a sand texture. Now they applied a texture like this to these helmets so that it wouldn't shine like this one is. This one was sanded down at some point, so the texture is gone. So yeah, they changed to sand, and also they in 1951 they changed the way the straps were connected to the bales. They introduced these new chin strap clips, and like I said, attached right to the bales. It basically ensured that the chin strap would last longer, because as you can see with this one, it's attached right to the bale. There's wear on this, and eventually that's probably going to break free. So it just another way to keep them lasting longer. Now they also changed the liner. The liner, the liner suspension, that is. They changed the liner suspension color to olive drab number 7, and they introduced a new adjustable nape strap. Now this is the new color liner suspension, olive drab number 7, and this is the adjustable nape strap. Previous designs for the nape strap were just offered in different sizes. So that's pretty much all for Korea. Now, representing the Korean War era, we have we have a World War II dated McCord front seam fixed bale that dates to spring 1942. It was fitted with swivel bales and new chin straps for Korea, and it was repainted. Oh, and the liner too, of course. The liner was added. As you can see, this is a front seam helmet. This was, like I said, converted to swivel bale and got new chin straps and the new liner. Now over here, we have a World War II dated McCord front seam fixed bale. No, sorry. A rear seam. This is a World War II rear seam. And it was. We don't know the date. It's sometime late World War II, obviously, but the lot number, the heat stamp is, can't see it. So the date is unknown, and it was repainted and fitted with new chin straps and a new liner for Korea, as you can see. Now, you're gonna say, hey, that helmet cover is not Korea. What's that doing on there? Yeah, this is my brother's helmet. He's using this. He's using it for his Vietnam Marine Corps impression. So that's why there's a Vietnam War cover on it. But it's still a Korean War revamped helmet, or World War II revamped for Korea helmet. So that's why it fits in. It's an earlier helmet. It fits in with the Marine Corps stuff. Now, that's Korea. Now moving on to Vietnam. Now production started up again for Vietnam in 1960 and 1961, basically because the advisors were going over there to keep stuff in order. So, they wanted to fit these guys with new stuff. So production started again in 60, 61, somewhere in there. They actually did some more changes to the shell. They changed they actually shortened the height of these helmets, the new shells, by about ½ inch, and they changed the paint color to a lime green-ish color. You can actually, if you put a World War II helmet and a Vietnam War helmet side by side, you can tell there's a difference in the height. It's not that hard to see. In fact, I don't know, you can't. It's kind of hard to see on camera though because it could be at a different angle. But this is the later helmet, and I'm pretty sure this is a World War II helmet. But anyway, moving on. In 1961, the chin strap hardware, which is this stuff, and of course the clasps, buckles. They started painting them black. Now in Korea they were painted green, but anyway, they painted them black, and they started stamping an anchor, a little anchor, on the left chin strap clasp. Now in 1964, the liners got redone. They repositioned the suspension in them. They were basically completely updated. And then they started making them out of ballistic nylon. That's 1964. Now this is the new suspension. As you can see, compared to this, the suspension is different. Now there's more space between here and here than there is on here and here. That's, they just basically straighten it out. So, yeah. And then this is one of the nylon ones. Has like a rough edge. You can tell it's nylon just by looking at it, really. And then they also, a new nape strap. This was a new thing for that. So, yeah. Representing Vietnam, we have a Vietnam era. Okay, yeah. An Ingersoll with a Korean War liner. This helmet was from a National Guard guy, I think. Pretty sure. And it hasn't really been taken apart since, basically, since he left. But yeah, this is the Korean War liner. And yeah. This is all decked out for Vietnam now. So is that one. Now, we also have a Vietnam War Dana Corp manufactured helmet fitted with the new style nylon liner like you just saw. Now that's Vietnam. So now we're going to move on to the post-Vietnam era. So that's basically like 74 on to when they stopped making these for good. 73 actually. So in 1973, the chin straps were updated. The chin strap clips, sorry, were updated to a new design. This is the new design. You see these on a lot of late helmets. It's that compared to this. In 1973, they also updated to a new chin strap design with this chin strap, this chin cup. They added this thing called a removable liner suspension. It's exactly what it is. It's a way. I don't know if you can see there's like that circle down there, right there. That's a button actually, and that enabled the people to take this off, take the whole suspension off of the liner, and replace it if need be. It's basically it was a step up from, is this one? Yeah, this one's a removable suspension. But this one, these older style ones have these A washers. That's how they're attached. But the newer ones, like you saw, have these removable suspension buttons. Now, production of M1 helmets officially ceased for good in 1988. They were replaced by the PASGAT helmet first in 1983, and it was officially replaced in 85. And we say 83 first because that's when PASGAT helmets started seeing use in Grenada, but they didn't officially make the change until 85. So, yeah. Now, representing the post-Vietnam era, we have a Vietnam shell. Yeah, a Vietnam shell fitted with a post-Vietnam liner with the removable suspension, like you saw. And of course we have, the new liner. Of course we have the woodland camouflage cover and a helmet band. And then we also have a Vietnam shell fitted with the angled chin strap clips. These are the new style chin strap clips. A post-Vietnam War liner with removable suspension. And the woodland cover and headband, helmet band. So that's that. That's the M1 helmet. Like I said, with pictures, you can go back and see pictures if you want to. But yeah, so that's that. That's the M1 helmet. A very, very, very iconic helmet. So yeah, hope you learned something. There's lots of great information in here. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.